If you want to generate leads and clients with Facebook or Google Ads, then you definitely need tracking. But the problem with tracking is that it can be so horribly complex. It can be really a nightmare if you don't really know which KPIs you need to track and which tracking system you should use. And then the worst part is there are so many tracking systems, but in the end, you have a lot of data, but you don't get any smarter, and it's hard to make a data-based decision based on the numbers you're getting from your tracking system. And in this video, I'm going to show you a funnel structure, and then based on the funnel structure, a tracking system that is easy to implement, where you don't need any external software that is highly expensive and still doesn't help you to get the full picture. This structure is based on the funnels that I've built that generated over 13.4 million in revenue in the last 4 years. And it helped me a lot make proper decisions on when to scale my winning ads and when to switch off my ads that just burn money. But it also helped me, and that is one of the most important parts when you try to generate leads with ads, how to identify the ads that bring in the highest quality leads. Because look at it like this, most advice that you hear on YouTube or other channels from other experts is just related to e-commerce. And it doesn't work for lead generation because of one fact. In e-commerce, you just optimize for making a person buy on your store. And it doesn't matter who this person is. You don't care, like if it's a business, if it's a private person, how big the business is, which job the person has, if they have the budget to afford additional services or purchases. You don't care in e-commerce. But for lead generation, you should care, because otherwise you are generating a lot of trash leads that you never will be able to convert into paying clients. And that looks good on the front end because cheap leads is nice, but in the end, if these are the wrong people with the wrong intent, or they don't have the budget, or they are personally not a good fit, you will never be able to generate sales from your lead generation funnel. So let me first show you how the funnel structure should look like on an overview. There is also another video on this channel showing you the funnel structure in detail and how to create a proper funnel plan. But this video is just to give you an overview and then show you the tracking system that you can install in your own business. Okay, so let me give you an overview of the funnel structure first. We typically start with an ad, and this ad goes straight to a so-called soft opt-in page, right? You don't ask, it's a soft opt-in page. Soft opt-in. It's not that you ask here for contact data, no email, no name, no business name, no phone number. This is just with your offer as headline, and then some benefit bullet points, and the button that says, see how it works in detail. Okay, so if you have an ad that leads to this page and people click to the next page, it means they have an intent to get more information about your offer, and that is critical. If you just promote a lead magnet or free stuff, then chances are high that you get a lot of people in your funnel that want your free stuff, but they are never really interested in your services. And that's one important qualifier that you also want to track in your lead quality tracking sheet, which is part of the tracking system I'm going to show you. Okay, so this is the first step. And here on the ad, we measure the click-through rate, and here we measure the soft opt-in conversion rate, which we call soft lead. Forgive my handwriting, I'm a computer guy and I'm an engineer. I'm not used to write a lot with my hands, but I think with my explanation you will be able to understand what I mean. All right, I digress, let's move on. So the next part is that you have a so-called offer page or offer content page where you explain the offer in detail. This is typically where you can have a video, so-called video sales letter, or it can be a long form page. Okay, that's your offer page. And here we call it offer lead. On this page, there is also a button with a call to action, which goes to either download a lead magnet, then you track leads, right, if they are able to download something. And that's an important concept because people who showed an interest in your main offer, I'm happy to give them stuff for free. But if you just advertise your stuff for free without putting them through the context or the frame of your offer, in other words, they don't care about it, I would never give away something for free. So they are qualified with the offer on the soft opt-in page, and on the second page, on the offer page, they can either download lead magnet, sign up for it, or schedule a call, right? Then it leads them to the next page where you have a calendar and there they can book a call. So this is now an offer lead, and when they schedule a call, it's called schedule or call booked. All right, so that's the funnel structure of your marketing funnel. Now let's have a look at the sales process, because that's also something you need to track. Otherwise you have nice marketing results, but if they don't turn into sales and you don't get paying clients from it, well, it's all for nothing. You just burn money. So let's have a look at the sales process, which is also part of the tracking system I'm going to show you, as you want to make sure that you understand end to end, from the impression down to the ad, soft lead, offer lead, schedule, first call, discovery call, then the final sales call, and then the sales closing rate. Only if this full chain of this end-to-end sales system is working, makes you profits and revenue, then you have a working sales system, okay? And that's what you need to track, because with a proper tracking system, you can see exactly where you need to improve in this funnel, and the complexity will be reduced because you have a green red light system that shows you exactly where you need to focus on. And then you don't have to just get busy and fix things that will never solve the real problem, right? You just create more content or set up a new funnel, create a new offer, launch a new ad, or you think Facebook doesn't work, I go to LinkedIn, or Google doesn't work, I go to TikTok, which makes it even worse. It never solves the problem if you don't really know what the problem is. If you don't know the root cause, you are just getting busy and wasting time and money. Okay, let's have a look at the sales process. Let's imagine in the last step of your marketing funnel, which is your calendar, people schedule the call. Now, the first step is that they need to show up. And that's not self-explaining, because so many people out there, they have an attention span of a fish. They book a call and they forget about why they booked it and what it is about. So the good show-up rate that we see is 80% on a first call, which we call a discovery call. And then on this call, you qualify people. So the next step is, are these people qualified? Now, the big question is, what does qualified mean? And for me, it means that the person first showed up on the call. Second, that they have a problem that you can solve. Third, they want what you sell. Fourth, they are personally good fit. Fifth, they have the budget to work with you. And the sixth component to validate is that they are a decision maker. If all the 6 components are validated and you can put a check mark on it, then this person is qualified. So now we can identify the qualification rate, which should be around 70%. Otherwise, you need to fix your funnel. But if you see your conversion rate in the qualification part of your sales funnel is lower than 70%, well, you know that you need to fix something on your messaging and your targeting to get in the right people. Or you need to warm them up more or educate them more so that they are well informed when they join a sales call with you. All right, so after the qualification in the discovery call, you can offer them a sales call, because nobody wants to be sold if they don't want to buy. And you should not sell to a person if the person doesn't want to buy. So the next part is the sales call. And we want to track the show-up rate on the sales call, right? That should be like 95%. Because why the hell should a person not appear on the sales call if they were qualified and they got offered a call and they took it, but they don't appear? That makes no sense. Or you didn't understand their objections and they just lied, because they could give you information that are plain wrong and you qualified them even if they are not qualified. But yeah, you cannot prevent this. So show up rate on a sales call, 95%. And when you have this 2-step sales closing process, first the discovery call, then the closing call, then your closing rate should be higher than 50%. Optimally aim for 80%, okay? Because you only sell to qualified people. And that increases your motivation of salespeople because they have more success, and it increases your closing rate in the final call. So that's the full sales process, and you need to track these KPIs in order to improve it. Yes, lead generation is a lot more complicated than e-commerce, but that's why you cannot take e-commerce based advice to build a lead generation funnel and get clients from it. Okay, so now you saw the funnel structure, and I will show you now the tracking system with the KPIs that you need to monitor, and how a green and red light color system can help you identify where you need to focus on to fix your funnel and move your marketing and your sales system to the next level of revenues and profitability. So first of all, to be able to track and get a green red light system showing you where you need to fix your funnel. First, you need to have a model of your funnel. You got a structure already. Now you can just take a Google spreadsheet like I did, and you put in all the steps that I showed you, right? Where the first one is the click-through rate. Then you have the soft opt-in conversion rate, the content or offer page, right? Next step offer page, qualification call, qualification rate, sales call show up rate, and the sales closing rate. Okay, so these are all the conversion steps in the funnel from the first impression down to the purchase and the revenue you want to make. And here are the KPI benchmarks. Okay, we aim for 10% click-through rate on the ad, 30% on the first page, 25 second page, 15 on the third page, and this is when people book a call. And then 80% show up on the call, 70% are qualified, 90% will show up on the next call, or 95%, which is a sales call, and then you should have 50% closing rate on the sales call. Okay, that's your benchmark. That's what you use to compare your actual funnel KPIs against this model. Okay, if you just like get leads and you say, oh, I don't get enough leads, it's too expensive, or I don't get enough calls, or they are not qualified, you are just complaining, sorry. If you don't have clear expectations, which is what this model gives you, like, how do you want to fix that? You need to be specific in digital marketing, otherwise you're just getting frustrated, okay? And in order to get not frustrated, but get the results you want, start with this model. Just take it, put it to a Google spreadsheet, okay? I'm sorry I cannot give you this whole tracking system because it's reserved for our clients that pay us money. We've spent hundreds of hours into building this, but if you consider learning more about how you can install this to your business, including the whole funnel and the AI system that we use to generate the content, then below this video you will find a link, and that will be the fast lane for you to implement this funnel and this tracking system. But hey, you can just use Google Spreadsheets and just add these steps as your first funnel model. All right, once you have the funnel model, the next step is to go to a funnel tracking, okay? These are the exact steps of the funnel model, just with the difference that you put in every single week the money you spend on ads, okay, that's here. And then the KPIs of every funnel step. Like on Friday, you just go to your ad manager and you check how much money did you spend, what was the cost per impressions, the so-called CPM, cost per 1,000 impressions, and then what was your click-through rate, and then it calculates you the cost per click, what was your conversion rate on the first page, second page, third page. And here you see already that this is out of benchmark. That's why it's red. Okay, you know this from traffic, right? Red means danger and green means, okay, you're ready to go. So if it's red, you know this needs to be fixed. Of course, here we see that there are also other parts in the funnel that are red, but you always want to focus on the highest step in the funnel because that has the biggest leverage for the entire profitability and the results of your funnel. In this case, we would focus on fixing the second page with your offer. For example, change your VSL or change your content to promote your offer. Once this is green and you constantly optimized it, then with the next steps, you can see that, for example, the offer page generates here bookings in your calendar. Okay, and from there, we want to track the sales performance. Like in this example, this is all red for a reason because they are all below 30. And below 30 means that you are dealing with random data. It's not enough data to make a statistical significant decision. Or in other words, to make a decision based on statistical significant data. And then you are just like deciding based on randomness. So wait until you got 20 to 30 like conversions on every step, and then you should make a decision. There's also calculators out there that help you understand if quantities you have are statistically significant. It's always in comparing to another quantity, but that's not the subject of this video. I digress a bit, but it's important that you have enough data and conversion volume to make a well-informed decision. It is not enough data if you just got one call booked and you're judging this from one call, because if another call comes in tomorrow, then the data would be totally different and you will see a totally different picture. So that's not a good way to improve your funnel because you are dealing with random data. All right, so next step is to judge your sales process. And if you are getting show-ups in a call, it calculates, of course, the show-up rate on your calls, and then you see what's the cost per quality call and so on, right? This is data that helps you understand the performance of your sales process. And again, for example, if your closing rate is not good enough, you need to talk to your salespeople and eventually fix your final offer. But all the other KPIs down to the qualification rate can be influenced with your marketing, with your landing page, with your gatekeeper, with your qualification process on the landing page, and most importantly, with your ad, which is the most important component because it is the highest part in the funnel and that has the biggest impact for the entire results and profitability of your funnel. Okay, so that's the full funnel tracking, and week after week, you just input your data and then you will see nicely if something improves or if you are just running in circles because you don't make any progress in improving your KPIs. All right, so if you want to rebuild that yourself, just take a Google spreadsheet, add every conversion step that you have in your funnel, right? That's what I showed you in this video, and then put in the actuals and just use simple math to calculate the conversion rates and the results per funnel step, and that's enough, right? Then you will see how your funnel works and which results you are currently seeing, and most importantly, where you need to focus on to improve your funnel, which in this example is this step of your funnel. Now let's have a look at lead quality, because yes, you can already see based on this data here if your leads are qualified or not, because if your salespeople disqualify them here and you don't get enough sales calls scheduled for the closing call, it means your leads are just unqualified, crap, garbage, shit, however you want to call it. Okay, but the question is why? The information is not enough that leads are not qualified. You need to know which criteria is missing to make them qualified, because then you can adjust your filters, you can adjust your targeting, and you can adjust your message. So let's have a look at lead quality tracking. So this is our lead quality tracking sheet, and we track every lead here and we attribute each lead, this is this column here, to the campaign and to the traffic source that generated this lead. Okay, so that's just important because you can filter by this column and see based on each campaign that you are running which quality of leads you are getting from this source, right? Because you cannot just say your marketing is delivering this amount of quality or this percentage of quality. You need to relate it to the traffic source, otherwise it makes no sense. So if you only have one traffic source, of course, it's a lot easier. Now that's the first thing. Then you track if they book the call. Now, if your funnel has the end goal of making people book a call, then well, like this is the only thing you track and they should all be yes. If you have a funnel where you also collect contact information and then they book a call and some people can enter their information but not book a call, you also want to track this here, okay? But to keep it easy, just go with a call first and then this should all be yes. Now, the other steps in the funnel are tracking the attributes that show you how qualified people are and what leads to making them unqualified. For example, here you see that we have a show-up rate of 69% on average across, 60 calls we got in, August. And so our show-up rate is 69%, close to 70%, right? We want 80. And I will show you, for example, in the month of November, we got 80. Because we were able to identify the weakest part of our leads, why they are not qualified, and fix effectively only this specific part. And that helped us get to a show-up rate of 82% and increase how many leads are really qualified. So this is not a big complicated tool, it's just another spreadsheet where you put in the qualification criteria here on top, and then you just this number is calculated by the amount of yeses divided by the amount of no's, right? And that gives you an idea of how qualified people are related to this criteria or this criteria. And if they are all yes here, then they are qualified. Okay, and so you see that we are at 75% of people who are qualified, and that's great. That's the result of optimizing the funnel for 4 or 5 months, right? It's not overnight success. It's really analyzing data and making data-based decisions so that, you really know what to focus on. Okay, so that's the tracking of lead quality. Now let's have a look at the tracking for your closing calls. Okay, so these are now people that had a first discovery call and are qualified. So now the question is, how many of those really scheduled a call? For some reason, some are not yet processed, of course, because they are in the sales process. And only one got a call offered but didn't want to take the call because eventually it wasn't the right time, or I don't see this here, but it happens. So the sales call scheduled rate is 96%, which is pretty good. And then the show up rate is the next column, how many people showed up, right? Not everyone shows up, but here in this case, as some people are still in the sales process, not every field is filled yet. And then, how many people got closed, that's the ultimate KPI to judge your sales team and your offers. If it's lower than 50%, well, it's not good enough. But in our case, around 80% who are talking to our sales team will start working with us. And that's because, we have a good offer and our sales team is well trained. So then you can also track the net amount of revenue per deal, so the total revenue. And here you see there is another column, which is the cash collected, which means how much money do we get instantly after we signed the new contract. And with this, you have all the KPIs you need. I know it sounds a lot. And if you want to generate high quality leads and clients, you need to track a lot. You cannot just run your ads with closed eyes and just hope that the mighty marketing god will be good to you and just get you more quality leads. At least I didn't experience that this works, but I experienced that having a closed eye on your data of your funnel, that's what changes the game. And for this, you need to have a 3-step funnel with a sideway landing page. Otherwise, your data is way not enough because you are just not generating enough conversion data to make well-informed decisions. You never know if people don't book a call. If they don't book a call because they don't like the offer on the headline, which is what we have on the first page, or if they don't like the offer explanation, the pitch, which is what we have on the second page, or if they don't like the next step offer, which is book a call. But in the end, if you have a good offer and you explain it in a good way, people are also motivated to book a call. It's never the next step offer. It's always the offer you present on the first page and then how you present the details. Eventually, you don't have enough case studies. You will see this on the second page. If people don't convert, add more case studies and your conversion rate will go up. So that's how you track your entire marketing and sales KPIs and how you use data-driven methods to really improve it and not just rely on hope hacks and random guru advice. I hope this helped you. If you like this video and you got some value, then just give me a like. I would appreciate that a lot. Subscribe to this channel. You will get new videos every single week about digital marketing, growing businesses, growing agencies, and sometimes also about leadership, because only if you have a good leadership system, you will also get the freedom you want from your business instead of just working on your desk all day. All right. So happy scaling. Cheers. Bye-bye.